Hey guys, welcome back to Board Watch. I'm Brian.
I'm Joey.
And just a couple quick things before this episode. I know I've noticed in the comments that some of you guys have been mentioning it. Yes, Joey has recognized that like the opening sequences have been getting longer and not necessarily exploring like every place on the map, but
just adding the places we've seen.
Adding places we've seen.
Yeah.
Sometimes, when they're not doing anything in the Eyrie, they'll like skip past that.
Yeah, just if it's not relevant to the episode.
And he likes how like the house sigils are like in each of the areas, so you can kind of have an idea of like who's in control,
where's each place is,
which stuff. And then also, I don't know why we have the DVDs. So yes, we are seeing the subtitles for Dothraki, although Daenerys wasn't in that last episode. But
yeah, that's true, actually.
We do see the English subtitles for the Dothraki. I don't know what the deal is when I'm trying to post the videos up, like the conversion or something like that's not bringing the subtitles up. But yes, we do understand. We do understand what the Dothraki are saying. And on that note, did you know that Dothraki is an actual language?
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
someone
cool.
created it.
Yeah,
someone actually created it for this show. And actually, do you remember how I was on that show To Tell the Truth?
Yeah.
It wasn't the episode that I was on, but the actual guy that created the language for Dothraki
was
on. He was one of the he was the one telling the truth, and then the other two were trying to impersonate him.
Awesome.
So they
that's
were
gotta be
the
so cool
celebrity
to create your
judges
own language that people can actually follow and learn and understand. That's insane.
Yeah,
that's how great the show is. It's like it's Genesis.
The details.
It really is. Great details. Wow, they have their own language. That's really cool.
Yes. All right. Well, anyway, just quick little things I wanted to get. Not too many questions before, but there are quite a few questions that you guys have for after episode 4, so we're going to go into that right now.
All right, yeah.
Loris Tyrell? Loris Tyrell. He's prettier than the Queen. I don't care about pretty. He's better with a sword than any of them. How good could he be? He's been stabbing Renly Baratheon for years, and Renly ain't dead.
Oh, I know.
Run
In my family, we say a naked man has few secrets. A flayed man, none.
My father outlaws flaying in the north.
We're not in the north.
I'm not torturing them.
The high road's very pretty, but you'll have a hard time marching your army down it.
The Lannisters hold prisoners of their own. I won't give them an excuse to abuse my sisters. This in your mouth. Lie down. You don't want to watch.
No! You can't!
Bite on it. It's better than biting your own tongue, believe me.
She's in love. Wow. That's so crazy.
Never told me where you're from.
Volantis.
Volantis? You're far from home. The boy was lucky you were here.
He was unlucky that you were.
Killing you would send your brother a message.
But my mother insists on keeping you alive.
Stone. Sir, we'll have to send your brother a message some other way.
Merrin.
Leave your face.
I like her pretty.
Baron, my lady's overdressed. Unburden her.
If you want Robb Stark to hear us, we're going to have to speak louder.
What is the meaning of this?
What kind of knight beats a helpless girl?
The kind who serves his king, imp.
Careful now. We don't want to get blood all over your pretty white cloak.
Someone get the girl something to cover herself with. She's to be your queen. Have you no regard for her honor?
I'm punishing her.
For what crimes? Should not fight her brother's battle, you half-wit.
Can't talk to me like that. The king can do as he likes.
The Mad King did as he liked. Has your Uncle Jamie ever told you what happened to him?
No one threatens his grace in the presence of the King's Guard.
I'm not threatening the king, sir. I am educating my nephew. Braun, the next time Sir Merwin speaks, kill him. That was a threat. See the difference?
See the difference, yes. Period.
You think dipping his wig will cure it, Elsa? There's no cure for being a cunt. But the boy's at that age. And he's got nothing to do all day but pick wings off flies. Couldn't hurt to get some of the poison out.
God, I love Braun. He got brain too. This is such a good duo. Favorite duo. Your favorite duo.
Uncle left your name-day present.
Your Grace, if your uncle finds out...
Oh, I want him to find out. You will bring her to his chambers when you're finished and show him what you've done. Or the same thing will happen to you. Begin.
Oh, what the fuck's happening? You want him like Joffrey? Oh man. I was trying. You guys baited me into that question. That's not even fair. No, I'm never gonna like Joffrey.
I understand that you don't like me, and while that saddens me greatly, I did not come here today seeking your affection. When you march on King's Landing, you may find yourself facing a protracted siege, or open gates.
In pain. Down. Different. Still in pain. The Hound. Joffrey. Cersei. Still in pain. The Hound.
Like a prayer. Ooh, I love this show.
What do you want?
The Lannisters will trade your daughters for the Kingslayer.
Of course they will. Jaime Lannister for 2 girls. Robb will never agree to those terms.
I'm not bringing these terms to him. I'm bringing them to you.
You think I keep secrets from my son?
Robb has surprised them all with his skills in battle, but he's not a mother. Consider it, Cat. You may not get another chance. I've brought you a gift.
I don't want your gifts.
A token of Tyrion Lannister's goodwill. He wants you to understand that this exchange of prisoners is offered in good faith.
Good faith. What's this?
Is the bones of red Tyrion's idea?
Your husband was an honorable man. He should rest beside his family in the crypts beneath Winterfell.
What are you doing? Please stop! Please stop! No! No! Don't do everything! No! No!
Joffrey. Cersei. In pain. The Hound.
Please, Oliver, some food. Just a crust of bread.
Oliver. The Mountain.
For the sake of the mother who bore us, I will give you this one night to reconsider. Strike your banners, come to me before dawn, and I will grant you your old seat in the council. I'll even name you my heir, until a son is born to me. Otherwise, I shall destroy you. across those fields, brother. You see all those banners?
You think a few bolts of cloth will make you king?
No.
The men holding those bolts of cloth will make me king.
We shall see, Renly. Come the dawn, we shall see.
But no man alive has seen a living dragon. Some of my more skeptical friends refuse to believe your children even exist. All we ask is the chance to see for ourselves.
I am not a liar.
Oh, I don't think you are. But as I've never met you before, my opinion on the matter is of limited value.
Where I come from, guests are treated with respect, not insulted at the gates.
Then perhaps you should return to where you come from. We wish you well.
13! When my dragons are grown, we will take back what was stolen from me and destroy those who have wronged me. We will lay waste to armies and burn cities to the ground. Turn us away, and we will burn you first.
Ah, you are a true Targaryen. Only, as you said a moment ago, if we don't let you into the city, you will all die. And so...
Retreating in fear from a little girl is unbecoming of the greatest city that ever was or will be.
The discussion is over, Zaro, Zoan, Doxos. The 13 have spoken.
I am one of the 13, and I am still speaking.
Our decision is final.
Very well. I invoke Sumai. I will vouch for her, her people, and her dragons, in accordance with the law.
Be it on your head.
Welcome to Karth, my lady.
Wow.
Where is the Brotherhood?
Don't know what that is.
Whoa! Whoa there! Okay. Oh, hey there. Wait a second. Oh. Tywin Lannister. What are you doing here?
You have a trade?
Smith, my lord.
What are you looking at? Kneel! Kneel, or I'll carve your lungs out, boy.
You'll do no such thing. This one's a girl, you idiot. Dressed as a boy. Why?
Safer to travel, my lord.
Smart. More than I can say for this lot. Get these prisoners to work. Bring the girl. I need a new cupbearer. My lord.
Oh, what? Cupbearer. Oh, what? Oh, things change.
Ah, lavender oil. She always loved lavender oil, even as a girl. I am an anointed knight, yes. Tell me, did Cersei have you knighted before or after she took you into her bed? What? Nothing to say?
What?
No more warnings for me, sir?
You will withdraw these filthy accusations.
Have you ever given any thought to what King Joffrey will have to say when he finds out you've been bedding his mother?
He said, oh.
It's not my fault.
She'd take you against your will? Can you not defend yourself, knight?
Your own father, Lord Tywin, when I was named the king's squire, he told me to obey her in everything.
Did he tell you to fuck her too?
I only meant I did as I was bid.
Hated every moment of it. Is that what you'll have me believe? A high place in court, knighthood, my sister's legs spreading open for you at night. Oh, yes, it must have been terrible. Wait here. His Grace will want to hear this.
Mercy! Mercy, my lord, I beg.
Save it for Joffrey. He loves a good grovel.
My lord, it was your sister's bidding. The Queen. I'll leave the city at once, I swear.
No, I think not.
My lord?
You heard me.
I wouldn't have you with nothing. You take from them everything.
My father told you to obey my sister. Obey her. Stay close to her side. Keep her trust. Pleasure her whenever she requires. I will never need know. As long as you keep faith with me. I want to know what Cersei is doing. Where she goes. Who she sees. What they talk of. Everything. And you will tell me.
Yes, my lord, I will. I swear it, as you command.
He's all so easily makes him crumble.
Oh, rise, rise!
Oh, rise.
Let us drink to our understanding.
Just you've not forgotten your smuggler's tricks.
I've lived within the law for 17 years.
I want you to be a smuggler this time.
Any shore, any night. I'm not bringing ashore.
The Red Woman. No one must know what you do, and we'll not speak of this again.
I am truly of his, and always will be. But surely there are other ways, cleaner ways.
Cleaner ways don't win wars.
You love your wife?
I do.
Yet you have known other women.
Don't talk about my wife.
I'm not. I'm talking about other women. Like me, Sir Devils. You want me. You want to see what's beneath this robe. And you will.
She's in the seduction.
Strange that this Lord of Light.
Are we going to witness a birth? What the hell is coming out of her? What is this? What is this? This is what I'm talking about with this show. What? 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 What is this show? Oh my god. What? Oh man. What? What? God, every time I think there's a little sanity with this show, it just rips it from me. Oh man, what is that thing? That's what I was saying with the grown man thing with the coming out of Daenerys. I was like, I didn't even mean to foreshadow eventually, but like
people were laughing about that comment, being like, when he was talking about a full size thing coming out of Daenerys, like they thought that I looked at the camera because I was,
saying that. I didn't even notice they looked at the camera. I didn't even notice any of that. Like a spirit demon, a grown man spirit demon that crawled out of her vagina. Oh my god. I was kidding about that with Khal Drogo's situation. I didn't think it was really gonna be. I said bar that happening, not that will happen in the show later. What? That's why it's so hard to predict, because shit like that happens. They'll just be like a guy who can kill everyone just pulls out of her vagina. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen, man. That's insane. Oh, alright, I got it out. I feel better now.
Alright. So, you learned that Stannis had to
fuck a whore witch that.
Well, no, but like you learned that he cut Davos's fingers, but it was like just he's talking about how why do you still wear your knuckles?
Oh, he cut. Oh, yeah, because he's like, why do you serve? Yeah, because that's what the guy was. That's who the guy he was talking to was like. Oh, the pirate was saying that since you cut a guy cut your own fingers, you still serve him, right?
Yeah. So like, why? So he knows that Davos has done some not so great things, but why do you think he keeps Davos so close? And especially with a special task like this?
Because he maybe he realizes he's in some form an honorable man, and even though he knew there was a thieves' honor, maybe like a pirate's honor, and he knew that if he could just transfer that honor to his own, to his own will. But I don't know. Maybe they were close. He took his fingers probably because he was stealing or being a thief. But I don't know, man. I feel like he's needed in this. I don't know what he's got himself into. Stannis got himself into with all this witchcraft and having a son apparently. Like, I don't even know what came out of her, and what's... Like, that's what I'm saying. Who knows what's even going to happen with that? Like, I thought she was going... Oh, is he going to go kill... Oh my god, is he going to go kill Renly, maybe? I don't know. See, this is the crazy... Oh, man. I don't know, but either way, back to the question... Davos is very. He needs him as a right hand man. It seems like a lot of these people have like everyone has their person, and it seems like that's his person. That's his right hand man.
Okay. Now Orissa. Well, it's RE33SA, so I'm just going to say Orissa. Tyrion knowing about Lancel and Cersei. Do you think he found out himself, or did they tell him, or who else knows? Does Tywin know?
Tyrion knowing about
Lancel and Cersei, or Jaime and Cersei?
I feel like...
Is it just Lannisters that know, or does Tywin know?
I don't think Tywin knows about... Well, Lancel's the
cousin.
The cousin, yeah. Definitely, Tywin definitely doesn't know, because that's what, like, he's threatening with, is telling Tywin and telling... Well, not telling Tywin, but... telling Joffrey, and also, let's see, also, I don't know who else knew about that. I don't think anyone else, because I remember somebody bringing it up, but I think that was, no, I don't think anybody brought it up yet. I think he just pinned it to, I think he just figured it out because of just how he was acting and like what time, I mean, but also, Tyrion's really good about finding out other ways and then pretending that he's just figuring it out to show people. It's kind of like being a magician, and like you know, you do it your way, but then you're telling people you're doing it this way to, you know, as a form of distraction. So maybe he's found out from somebody else, but I can't remember who else knew. Maybe Varys knew, if anything, or maybe even Maester Pycelle knew, and he had him in the chambers and let him go. But very good. I always am very thankful for Tyrion's in the episode, and that was well played again. I love watching that guy work very well. Definitely should be the king.
Speaking of Tyrion, Orissa actually had quite a few questions for this episode. They said that you guessed that Tyrion, like in a couple episodes, I think it was episode 1 of this season, where you guessed that Tyrion would be able to manipulate Joffrey through his desires. And Bronn gave Tyrion the idea of sending a couple of whores his way.
And that didn't work.
So, with that in mind, will his normal methods of being able to manipulate people work? Will he still be able to find a way? And if so, how?
Yes. I don't know. I'm not Tyrion, so I don't know Joffrey. I don't. If I would know that, I'd be Tyrion. But at this moment, maybe by the next episode before the recap, I'll know for sure. I'll have more time to think about it. But at the moment, yes to the first answer. He will be able to manipulate Joffrey, or at least slow him down. Not maybe fully manipulate him, but manipulate him just enough to get what he needs done. And that's all Tyrion really asks for. He doesn't need to manipulate you forever, just enough to where he needs you. It's not going to be through sex. Somehow it's going to be through pain. I just can't figure out how.
Okay.
Because that's his thing. He likes agony. He likes seeing people in pain. He likes people being punished. Somehow, Tyrion's not like that at all. Somehow Tyrion's going to have to figure out how to use that in his favor. And maybe maybe he gets gladiators together, maybe he starts. That's what I was saying earlier. Maybe he's instead of it being
like
about
opens
sex,
a coliseum, like a pit,
like a pit or a coliseum, or like a fighting brawling something,
just to kind of appease his
desires for bloodshed and for and then maybe distract him, because right now I think it snapped him out of where he was and threw him off his throne a little bit when he was like, "There's an army ready to come fight you," and so once he hit him with that, it kind of checked him a little bit, at least enough to calm him down when he was trying to like pour the wine down that guy's throat, and so and then Tyrion showed up later. Even though Sansa was the one who actually stopped him from doing that, but either way, that situation,
you don't want to kill someone.
Yeah, but either way, on that situation, that during that time, he was like in his own, like feeling like he was like the super boss, supreme leader, and so Tyrion kind of knocked him off by saying that. So I think maybe through distracting and maybe through some other like distractions, but distracting him with the fact that he has an impending doom coming his way. Will be able to distract him, but I think he'll be able to control him in some level.
And more for Marissa. Still sticking on Tyrion and his. Don't worry about it. Still sticking on Tyrion and his schemes. Littlefinger actually followed through. He did go to Catelyn Stark.
I'm curious to see what's going to happen about that, because she said to leave. I can see her totally doing it. Sadly, it's also why I don't like Catelyn. Is because
well, first off, with Littlefinger knowing that Tyrion already canceled the old deal. First off, why did Littlefinger
to see her
actually do? Okay,
to see her and to make it to where he's doing her a favor, which is what he did spin it as, and not as much as the like, this is what, but like as in, and at first he tried to like go at it as like calmly and like, peacefully, but then like she told him to leave, and I think he got a little offended, and so that's when he like, hit her with like, this is what, and so, it's all, everyone's about motivation, and he found her motivation, but that being, that's such a cliche, like, the mom thing, and then, but you said, because then they're not going to follow through when the Kingslayer's released, Sansa may even be released, but then they're going to be like, well, we don't have Arya, or they're going to be like, Sansa's not released, we don't have Arya, and we have Kingslayer now, and so Rob's going to feel torn from his mom probably, and then he's also going to feel torn from Theon, and like he's going to feel like his inside, where was it even about besides just taking back the North, and then he's probably going to have that one girl, the doctor girl that he just met on his side, Talisa in his ear, Talisa,
something like that.
Talisa on his side. I'm trying to remember, I never remember her name.
Yeah, no, she said it just like one,
Oh, okay, well her. And so he'll probably have her in her ear, his ear a little bit, and but I do think that she will release the Kingslayer, probably. I don't want her to, obviously, but I think just how that seemed like that's going, the Littlefinger did what he actually was asked by Tyrion.
Now you touched on Arya a little bit with that answer, so Larissa has two more questions about Arya. At night, she's been naming off some names.
Yeah, every night, like a prayer.
Do you remember some of those names?
Yep, the Mountain, Cersei, it was Joffrey, the Hound, and somebody else.
There's two others, Ilyn Payne, who is the King's Justice, the guy that actually cut Ned's head off, and Polliver. It was the guy that was killing everybody at the encampment. Because like she didn't know the guy, that guy's name wasn't on the list. But then she heard someone talking to him and said his name, and then so she added him to the list.
This is her shit list, apparently. And I love Arya's shit list, and now apparently there will be people adding names to it, which is cool, but I love that.
So where do you see that going?
Flourishing of her killing somebody, and kind of to what I said,
all
maybe.
Of them?
No, but I feel like she might kill Joffrey still.
Okay.
And I feel like that's the main one that she wants to kill, and was the main one, obviously, she feels with. But I think it's more of a tribute to what was his name? He died, R.I.P. to the Night Watchman guy.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember.
Okay, him. Poor guy. And fades into nothingness.
I wanted to say Jory, but that was Ned Stark's guy that died in the face.
Oh, yeah. But either way, that guy, who actually did have a pretty prominent role for Arya's life.
Yeah.
And it's sad now that he's just gone, but... obviously we didn't have too much.
Yeah, so she's not going to the wall now.
No, she's not, or at least not yet. Well, I mean, she probably won't. I don't know why she would go to the wall after that, unless she would be going with, what's his name? Who got saved? The Smith.
Oh, Gendry.
Gendry. Unless for some reason they went with Gendry. Yeah, no, I think she's gonna now work with Tywin. closely, and I feel like she's smart and will figure stuff out along the way. I feel like Tywin's smart, and I feel like they'll both. He's already admired her in I don't think a creepy way, at least I hope.
Okay.
And so I think it for her smarts, and so Tywin seems like he's rational, and so she's rational, and so hopefully she can work her way through all that. But that'll be interesting to see how that goes, especially when it comes.
Kind of where the next question was going, asking about like the dynamic between Tywin and Arya.
Nice, yeah, good dynamic, but I don't know, because that's weird, because then she's going to be overhearing eventually, I'm sure, probably when she starts, because right now I don't even think she knows who Tywin is, and necessarily.
Okay.
And so I don't
Does
think...
he know who she is?
No. At least that I don't think so yet. And so... Oh, imagine if he did know. Nah, I don't think he knows yet. Maybe, because why the hell would he care that much about a random girl just to... But then, like, why would he make her go work? But then there are other women there, and he's going to make them work. I don't know. That's a good point. I don't think so. I think he would have handled that situation much differently if it was, like, they realized they have Arya, like, one of the Stark sisters. Like, I feel like he wouldn't have just been like, oh, I'd have her come be my... I feel like he'd have been like, let's keep her safe, let's keep her out of the way, because she's an asset now, not necessarily, like... I don't feel like he's as debonair as Tyrion is, like, where he likes to be kind of flashy and, like, showy with his stuff. I feel like he's more, like, precise, like, just get it done, just cut it. So I feel like if he found out he had an asset, he would have just tied her up somewhere and kept her as, like, a captive. So,
and
I don't think he knows.
On that note, now this is finally not Arissa anymore, but Dr. Longclaw.
Dr. Longclaw, hello again.
Yes, hello again, Dr. Longclaw. Arya has had some hardships because of the Lannisters.
Oh my god.
So how will she react to serving Tywin?
I don't think she knows who he is yet. I think when she figures it out, she's going to hate it. I feel like she's going to kind of, like, they'll slowly build to her enjoying it. Maybe some witty banter, maybe, like, an easier life for her, maybe him being nice to her, and then it'll be all taken away. It's like, this is this demon that you're serving. And so it'll be like, she'll be all scared probably and upset and, like, conflicted, but then she's going to come to where what happens when life fucks you? Fuck it right back. And so then she'll come right back at him somehow and, like, probably, you know, trick him into something of sabotage slowly or something to work for her brother's interest. But I don't think she's as stupid to, like, announce her presence as who she is and, like, also give up her positioning, because I feel like she's starting to learn, just like Sansa's starting to learn, is like you have a certain amount of power, you just have to give it to yourself, and so she has to work herself into a position where she had a little bit of power more. And I feel like she knows she doesn't want to be in the position she was before, so I don't think she's just going to, like, immediately give herself away. So she'll probably work in cahoots, but then also, you know, but she's still a child. I don't think Tywin's going to listen to her that much.
Okay, a couple more things. Elu223. So what is Joffrey's deal? Is he just a straight up psychopath? Was it upbringing? Was it, or is there some mental things possibly because of the incest? Or is it just too much power for a kid? Or, like, what do you think is going on there?
I think it's all of it a little bit together, honestly, not to be the cop-out route, but I feel like, I don't think they're going to get that deep, but who knows, because they just had a person come out of a vagina, so who knows who knows what they're willing to do in this show. I always say that, but I don't think they're going to really push it for the incest thing, because they've already had a bunch of incest stuff before, so I don't think they could. Maybe, I guess, they could try to blame that on the reason that he's mad. And I guess, technically, the Targaryens were known for that,
yeah,
and they were mad,
like
too.
The Mad King.
The Mad King is probably from incest, and I guess Daenerys is a little crazy, and she's probably from incest. Yeah, exactly. So maybe it's from that, and maybe it's from, obviously, being a kid king, and but there's something deeper and darker about him, because, like, he likes his power, but he wasn't so, like, get him killed at first. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's been, like, a slow build-up, and then a slow release, or a huge release of just power struggle. And so, but there's almost something calculated, and, like, I feel like it's his mother in his ear, and also something else maybe, I don't know, but that we don't know of yet. But either way,
but his mother hasn't been able to completely control him, though.
No, but I'm saying she kind of built this monster, though, like, telling him how he should be, what he deserves, what we deserve as a family, what he is, so much better than so. Like, I feel like her being in his ear about this, and building him up in a negative way, but still building him up, released this monster upon everyone, including poor Sansa.
Okay.
Yeah, he is crazy, I feel like. I don't know, probably from everything.
Now, Davos just saw Melisandre give birth to, like, a shadow demon thing.
Oh my
shadow,
God,
something,
man.
some shadow thing. Do you think that this will strengthen his bond with Stannis now that he knows that this woman actually has some like claim to her powers? Or
I think it'll scare him. I think if anything, that's not something that I feel like he wants his friend to be a part of. But then at the end of the day, too, maybe he'll be scared in a good way and be like, she does have some power. There is a god. But he seems very savvy. He was a smuggler, so I doubt it. Like I'm sure he's seen all kinds of stuff. So, that's part of the thing is that like things will happen and they'll pronounce that they're gods, and then people can either believe that they're a god or king, or they don't. And so I feel like he's also savvy enough to realize that sometimes things can just be a certain way and look a certain way, but then they're actually something else. And so maybe he may not be so quick to jump on she's a mistress of the gods, right. and maybe like, maybe there's something else going on here. And so I think it'll actually, if anything, I think this is a slow tear of his and Stannis' bond, because I think it was already kind of foreshadowed with how he was acting. And if you look at when they first originally, even though it was quick, like originally how they were acting with each other was much more warm and embracing. Stannis looks almost like his eyes were glowing. I think they on purpose made him not look around, because it made him look like just soulless and just like, whatever needs to get done. And like I feel like she definitely obviously had a huge sway on him. And so now especially now that son or whatever this thing is, he has this, it's in her. They're slowly tearing apart.
Well, because, like, a lot of people are talking pragmatically. Like, Renly's like, well, I've got the numbers. I've got, like, 100,000 people. Like, Davos is just like, will, a red woman, be enough to overcome it? You need ships, you need an army, and blah, 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 blah. So, like, Stannis is kind of fighting from behind right now, and, Davos might, I don't know, like, now that he sees this power...
he could see a power, and that's what I was saying. It could be a scared power. Like, and he's scared of the power, so he respects it, is my point. He could then be like, we do have some power. Like, she can change the tides. It just depends on how I could see it going both ways. Right. But honestly, I feel like it's going to be a slow tear, just to see how everything else has been going. I don't think it's going to build them even closer and, like, tighter and whatever. I feel like he's going to see that there's some type of... Because he wouldn't have looked as scared. He looked way too scared in that, more than just, like, in awe. It was more of, like, in fear and disgust of what was happening. Kind of like how, what's his name? Jorah Mormont was when Daenerys went in that tent. Like, it was disgust on his face. It wasn't, like, of awe of what was going on. So I don't think he's going to be, like, an awe of the power she has, and more of fear, disgust with the power she has. Because, also the whole scene with him climbing out, like, it wasn't like, look at the power we have. It was like, this is disgusting and like, so I don't think he's going to rally behind that. I think he's going to pull back from it, if anything.
All right, and on that note, Lemuel, hello again, wants to know, in the War of Five Kings, who will win? Balon Greyjoy, remember? You got Robb Stark, you got Joffrey, you got Renly, you got Stannis.
Well, technically, I'm not 100% sure if Renly is willing to allow Robb, and this changes my answer, because if Renly is willing to let Robb rule the North and him rule the South, and everyone rule each other, then I feel like them.
Renly and... so like combined Renly
kind of like the riddle. And if... I feel like if not, then I feel like it's going to be... You said, because technically the Greyjoys are in that as well.
Well, you heard in their war council that like all the Stark forces are heading south. They were talking about like going up along the coastline.
Joffrey's not going to win. I guess it's easier to eliminate. Joffrey's not going to win. Stannis isn't going to win. Robb is going to win in some form. I just don't know how. Okay. Yeah, so I guess Robb. Would be
Robb. Okay, so Robb is like, but possibly
I don't know who else
hedging your bet by saying Robb and Renly.
Robb and Renly, or just Robb and Renly's going to die, maybe. Because I still think Renly might die. This thing just went off into the night behind these bars that they couldn't go through. And so maybe this thing goes and kills Renly, or kills Renly's lover, and then Renly does something stupid and fights his brother in open battle. I don't know. Something's going to happen right now, too, that could change this answer. So you guys could be necessarily not the best time for this answer. But at the moment, because everything's that happened in the show so far, I would say Rob.
Yeah, there's still 6 episodes left in this season.
Yeah,
so
but right now, and also, like, Rob hasn't even lost his biggest bargaining chip right now as we speaking, but I'm already predicting that he probably will, enough to where I even thought of that right now, and so, like, he'll probably lose the Kingslayer, Jamie, and so then that'll be less, but I still think out of everyone right now, probably Rob.
Okay. Actually, that segues kind of nicely into Becca's question. What will Catelyn do? Well, so, like, now that Littlefinger's kind of playing the scene.
She's freeing him. There's no way she's not freeing him. Or maybe... No, because that's her motivation. And it's the cool part about it is that, like, they're slowly digging hooks into you from each motivation, and they're pulling on them. And it's, like, ripping you apart when you're watching the show, because you're just, like, you realize all these motivations, and you're like, but I want this for her, and I also want this for her, and it can't work, because
you can't have everything.
Tied. And that's what this show pulls on her, like. And so, her motivation is to free Jamie, and to try to get her Sansa and, well, in her mind, Arya back, even though that's not at all what's happening in that situation. So, I feel like she'll trust Littlefinger on some level, and I feel like she'll understand how, like, what he risks to come, and, like, and maybe she'll rally with that. But Rob also will not be okay with it. I feel like on any level, there's no way he's ever going to be okay with that. They've implemented it. They haven't even, like, made it to where he could possibly change his mind. It's firm. He's not going to. I mean, she's going to do it in secret and betray his trust. That's going to hurt his own feeling about, like, everything he, like, because then that's going to probably shake the rally that he has with the North. I mean, his mom just released... You know, I know we're already talking like it happened, but if this happens, like, his mom released Jamie, like, I doubt they'll be okay with it. And so, I don't know. I feel like that's going to change Rob's whole situation. As much as I want to say he's going to win, I feel like it's not going to be as cut and dry as that. And I feel like, you know what? I'll say this. This is what I can say. I feel like Tyrion is going to successfully bring peace somehow.
Okay.
I feel like his little workings and his little, like, I feel like that's like the saving, like, you know, person who's, like, unhooking all these little...
Because even though he's directly in conflict with specifically the Starks, he still was able to throw a token of, here's Ned's, you know...
Yeah, and I feel like he's the only... And I feel like he has no issue with the Starks, and I feel like he holds no grudges, obviously, and I feel like he thinks to himself, probably, that it's better to have everyone lead and rule themselves in a much calmer, like, or even maybe he rules, but either way, I feel like he's going to bring peace and he'll end the war.
Okay.
But I still think Joffrey's going to die. Maybe even Sansa will kill him.
Okay.
I don't know.
And going back to Littlefinger, we've got just 2 questions left, guys. Back to, actually, these last 2 are both from Movie Lover Fan 18, again. So, Littlefinger was talking to Renly.
Yes.
And saying, you know, if you go to King's Landing, you could be up against a long siege, or you could come to open gates.
True.
What do you think Littlefinger is plotting with that?
Well, that's how I think he originally got with... And that's why I think there's a possibility if one of the routes I'm thinking goes the way it is that Littlefinger will betray Joffrey and let the people in to kill him. Renly's people, who's also Rob's people. Or maybe just Renly's people, and Renly jumps for the crown. Nah, I doubt it. But maybe. And so then maybe they stay in cahoots together at least. And then, because then Renly's getting what he wants, Littlefinger's getting what he wants, and then Tyrion's getting what he wants. I don't think Tyrion wants Joffrey dead, though. Like, I think he still has some... I don't think he'd ever wish ill on a person like that, so I don't think Tyrion... Because Tyrion's the original person who sent him. I know Tyrion's trying to get his brother back, but I don't think Tyrion necessarily knows Littlefinger's, like, open door policy.
Okay.
So I don't think they're necessarily in cahoots with that. But I feel like maybe Littlefinger then added that caveat.
Okay. Now, and then this isn't actually really a question, but Movie Lover Fan wanted to kind of explain what happened with the war at the very beginning with Rob's forces. So, like, Tywin's forces and, like, the remnants of Jaime's forces, they were still kind of split. And so, like, some were supposed to kind of just, like, hole up. Like, these 60,000 men were supposed to kind of hole up and train. They were, like, really, really green in battle. And they were supposed to wait until Tywin's forces caught up to them. I was about to say John. Rob's direwolf, Grey Wind, found, like, this secret path that was able to kind of shortcut them and kind of catch the forces by surprise.
And that's why they gave a little shout out to Grey Wind in the beginning. Because this is in the books. This is happening.
Yeah.
So then in the show, they just gave Grey Wind like being the first person to attack.
And there wasn't actually sentries that were looking out. They just it was just like a complete sneak attack, which is why they were able to kill him. I think they said at like 5-to-1 or 6-to-1 ratio.
Yeah, my goodness.
You know,
well, they had to have been that because they only have 20,000 troops still, right? Or have they gotten more people?
They might have gotten. Well, I know they got some from the Freys, as they because like they had the deal with Frey, and like
we're looking at 30,000 tops,
right?
40,000 tops right now at least. I mean, they went and just slaughtered these people. Which is, I mean,
I don't think Frey would have that many.
So
like,
maybe
Frey was just like kind of guarding the bridge, the bridge that they needed to pass, and yeah, so yeah, that was. Yeah, so it was just kind of explaining a little bit of how like they actually got there. So
okay, cool.
Thank you
guys. Yeah,
like little things like that. Again, I'm still reading the books, so
still a summer child.
Yeah, and so any like little tidbits like this that aren't too spoilery, which that isn't spoilery at all. That's great. More information for us.
It gets a whole picture better.
On that note, I know some of you guys want us to watch the history and lore. I haven't actually talked to you about that, but every season, like on the Blu-rays, like season 1 has like history and lore, so it kind of goes a little bit into like Robert's Rebellion, and, you know, and so but it's nothing that really spoils anything. Like we can watch season 1 and then we're already done with season 1, so like I don't know how the timetable will work with that. If we have time, you know, like obviously I'd have to post more than 4 things a week. But that would be like a completely separate episode. Just watching like the
Is it better to watch the lore at the end or at the beginning?
At the end, I would watch the lore at the end.
So we'll make time for season 2. We'll watch the lore for season 2. Then in the middle, we'll even do it a season. We'll do like a season recap and then also a lore in the.
So you're down for that?
I'm down for that. We'll do like a double for you guys if that's what you guys want.
Cool. Yeah. No.
What the people want.
What the people want. And then at the end of season 3, we will watch the. There's this Honest Trailers guy. You know the Honest Trailers guy?
Yeah.
So he's actually done a couple Honest Trailers. He's done like for seasons 1 through 3, and then for seasons 5 and 6, or 4 and 5. So that's a common thing that people like reacting to because Honest Trailers are funny.
No, that's awesome.
But the seasons 1 through 3 has spoilers. Obviously, the 4 and 5 has spoilers. So we'll just wait until we get to those benchmarks. Yeah, and
I like that. That's cool.
Shout
out Honest Reviews.
Honest Trailers is. Honest Trailers. Have you seen any of those?
Yeah, I've seen a few of them. Not any of these, obviously.
They're fun. Like you'll have a good time. And then we will hit up like all the pretty standard videos that like everyone in the community knows kind of what I'm talking about. So we'll hit those. Don't worry. But until next time. It's been fun. Again, thank you.
Subscribe.
Hey, you
know what to do.
Take it away, Joey.
See you guys next time.